Hey guys, my name's Cameron and welcome to Meditation with Cameron. Today we're continuing our Breathwork series and we're going to be going over fire breath. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, the reason that I have my shirt off is not to be vain by any stretch of the means, but I really want folks at home to be able to see exactly what should be happening specifically in your mid to upper body, the abdomen right here in the belly, and the chest. And that's very, very important for fire breath because fire breath is a very active breath. It's meant to ignite fire. It's a very cleansing breath, but to do it correctly, it's almost more of a focus on your abdomen and your abdomen muscles as it relates to breathing than the breathing itself. So let's get right into it. Start in your favorite meditation posture. Get up nice and tall. Make sure that your hips are rotating forward and your chest is up and back. Now, in my last video on 3-5-3 breathing, I talked about a particular hand position that I used for breath work, and that's left hand on the belly, right hand on the upper chest area. And the reason that we do this is specifically to track what is going on with our belly, our stomach, as we are breathing. So, fire breath. The first thing I should say is a brief disclaimer that if you do start to feel lightheaded or dizzy, or some people get a little bit of like a dry mouth sensation, go ahead and stop. This is somewhat of an more intense breathing technique, and I remember that when I started it, I was like, wow, this is really awesome, but at the same time, like if you're not in the right space to do it, you could totally, pass out, basically. And that's not good. So do take care to just monitor yourself while you're doing fire breath. First, I want to go over some of the ways that I use fire breath. I love to do it in the morning. It is a high energy technique, and it jump starts your body. In a certain sense, it almost is a whole body stimulant, but it really, really kicks up the energy levels. And the second way that I like to use fire breath is as this cleansing. Because even though we did a lot of cleansing with the 3-5-3 breathing, and those long breaths there, fire breath involves a lot shorter of breaths that really, really stay in the emptying out phase to just clear everything out. So it's totally excellent from that standpoint. So let's go over the general technique. Hands are going to be right here as we've discussed, and you're going to take a big breath in, and you're going to try your best to empty it all out. Now in the emptying out phase, you want to get in there and clench your abdominal muscles and feel the space where you're really only taking 20% or so of the breaths in and out. And what you're going to do is you're going to be using short, quick breaths through your nose, in and out your nose, and you're going to be actively pushing, forcing air out of your lungs. So it's a very rapid, forceful movement here where you're going to specifically, you can even focus on the clenching of your abdominal muscles when you're doing it. But it's somewhat hard to describe, so I'm going to just kind of demonstrate it for you. We can talk about it and then we'll practice together. So. So what were a few things that you noticed there? The first thing is that it's very forceful, and you should be able to see my abdominal pulsing in and out as I force that breath through over and over. If I move my hands, it's really something like in addition to that, you'll notice that there's a little bit of like a pop, a jerk in the movement. That's okay. In fact, that's actually one of the things that you're going to see people who actively practice this. It's that force of pulsing the breath out for your fire breath. At the end, I did start to feel a little bit of a dry mouth, so you want to stop and really take that last big in breath, out breath, return to normal. I like to start with 15 of the pulses, and then I'll do, let's say, 5 long breaths in between. I'll do 15 again, back on fire breath, 5 long breaths after that, and then we'll try to go for a length of 30. So double that with the fire breath, and then you can return to some normal breathing there at the end. So try to practice along with me. See if you can hit the 15 each time, but be sure that you're taking the time for yourself and having those big 5 breaths in the middle. And if anything goes wrong, go ahead and just back off of it a little bit, and you can try again next time. So let's get started. Big breath in to start. Exhale. And here we go. Five breaths here. All right, let's get into it again. And all right, we're going for 30 this time. Here we go. Excellent. So let's not overdo it on the fire breath. Fire breath is not something you want to do for extended periods of time. I definitely feel very, very energized at the moment. And again, sometimes I get that little bit of a dry mouth because it's such a vigorous breathing technique. But it's such an excellent day if you can actually just, as soon as you wake up, hit the mat, get going with just a couple rounds of fire breath in the morning. You might be surprised that it feels like taking a cold shower or drinking some really cold water. It's the same thing of like, boom, you're getting really, really energized right there in the morning. Or, as we talked about, if you're just feeling super, super stressed and you're just like, oh my God, I just feel like get this all out. Fire breath is an excellent way to do that. So, thank you for practicing with me. Check out some of my other videos on different breathing techniques and also on meditation posture. So, my name's Cameron, and thank you again for practicing with me.